You need a red key to open this door.
Yes, but I don't know. For some reason in my memory this was a yellow door when I watched this. Maybe it wasn't, maybe it wasn't, was changed, but for some reason I thought that maybe it's like one of those leave it in things where it's a yellow door but it's marked by red.
Leave it in. TM. Well, it's possible that you're thinking of the refueling base map 10 from Doom 2, in which it was, I think it was coloured blue, the door, but it could be opened with a yellow key. So maybe in the back of your mind.
I actually didn't know about that before. Well, I am officially lost. Where do I...
I think there's a door right there that you haven't been
Fucking hell! How did I miss this? Okay. I hope there is something here that lets me progress. Library? Since when are the libraries in episode 1 and 1.5? No, not why.
That was an interesting weapon selection there.
I think I missed my key on the keyboard there. Ah, damn it. Once again, I only have 6 rockets, which is interesting. There's really not many rockets, I say as I find some. Good thing this is map 10 out of the 11 maps I think I'm going to play this session, so... Because I am approaching the state where I have no idea what I'm doing and what I'm saying and what I should be doing and saying. It probably is pretty evident by...
Well, you should have no idea what you're saying more often, because I think what you've been talking about this map has been very interesting.
I don't even remember half of the stuff that we were talking about. Oh well. Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay, time to take out the... Oh, there's only 4. Okay. Still...
Clean sweep.
Yep. Hey, what is it about the plasma gun that just makes it such a... like a desperation weapon that always helps when you're having trouble, at least for me. And
I think to get out of a messy situation, you use a correspondingly messy gun. That's also obnoxiously loud. So here we have another instance of Doom 2 just throwing power-ups at you, and then all of a sudden the difficult situation that you found yourself in before is reversed. Now you're overpowered as hell.
I am never overpowered, I'm not that good at Doom. But my favorite power-up thing is, I think, in the Crusher, where you have a Megasphere and then a blue armor nearby. But yeah, there was definitely a lot of stuff in there.
One of the things I think you do very well, actually, from what I saw Doom 2 name only, is that you have a great way of telling a story through map design, which I think I might have touched upon earlier. I think I actually highlighted back to the next incident.
Yes, you mentioned it, but not in the context of my thing.
Well, I mean, they're very different. Your map's very different from anything in back to the next, of course, but the same point nonetheless stands, I think. In that the way in which you progress through the map is just as telling as, you know, if I had words to read on the
Interesting. Because that is mostly by accident. I am not consciously doing that. I just have the idea first and I am doing that idea, so I guess maybe it works out in the end. That's actually why I really hoped you would have played map 29 better by now, because that's, I guess, the thing that I'm most curious about.
I'm gonna wait until the whole thing comes out before I give it another crack.
Alright, that's... I hope by map 29 whoever's playing, probably you, I guess, isn't just completely exhausted and skipping through everything, because I feel like that's... well, I haven't really played other maps because I want to save it for the release and to play through it normally, but I feel like possibly the Focus and the Living End are two of the more interesting names that I just challenged myself with, and I would really be interested in whether or not people see what I did there, so to speak, because I think Eris did see what I did there when I sent him like the pre-release version. Hello. And wait a second, was there a yellow door anywhere before this, or?
Yeah, I can't think of the exact map in which that was also the case, the Sandy map, but
no, I mean,
that has been done before.
In this map, was there a yellow door before, or is it like the only locked yellow door in here is the exit door? Because I don't remember. Don't remember yellow door.
That's possible.
Huh.
That's possible.
Interesting. Exit.
Exit, 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 just in case you didn't.
Yeah.
The garrison. So here we are, out of Tarnsman land, and here's a map by... Wow, those two items are stacked. Did not know that. I kind of like it. It's a map by Pavera.
What's stack? What?
There was a shell box and a bullet box just sitting on top of each other.
Oh.
I just didn't know that was the case.
Didn't notice that.
And I approve wholeheartedly.
Oh, good.
So this is again
I
similar
saw
to a
this
lot of
map
Romero
before.
maps, in that you have a centralized area around which the rest of the map gravitates, I guess. Pavera's style, the way in which he replicated Pavera, was a little over detailed actually to begin with, and using textures in a certain way that Romero probably wouldn't have done so. So there was a little bit of a clean-up there, and I think he actually left it to Tarnsman to do that. Other than that, I think it's a fine little map.
I
Fine large map.
definitely saw this in one of the streams, and if I'm remembering correctly, you were having some trouble to the point where even I found it a bit tiresome to watch. But let's see how I deal with this. I guess it's really easy to forget when you're watching someone how difficult it is to keep the attention both on saying stuff which is grammatically kind of correct and has any sort of meaning, and playing at the same time, paying attention to stuff. Because I know people make fun of when you play, you completely miss stuff in the maps, but I think pretty much most people would do that in Let's Plays. A lot of Let's Players, especially blind Let's Plays when you're playing something for the first time, you really, as soon as you start recording or just start talking, you stop paying attention whatsoever. You don't remember where any door is or whatever, so yeah, that's why I suck so much. Normally I don't, but always on camera. I always suck on camera, so that's definitely an excuse. Okay. I hope there isn't like demons down there that would block me and prevent me from jumping over. Fucking hell.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why I would expect that there wouldn't be demons down there. Or I guess specters. Rockets!
One interesting fact about Romero's texture selection, which as I think I've remarked before is wholly consistent. I should also probably say that I never actually did a Romero map. I left it into the hands of Essel and Tarnsman to do that sort of thing, because they were the masters at it. He was fond of Support 3 in a way that the other mappers weren't. He actually used it in place of Liquid Fall textures. He never used Liquid Fall textures at all. I don't think he used it ever. If there was nukage, he would just put Support 3 on the side of it.
Holy fuck,
it's very strange.
Never noticed
but there
that.
we go.
Huh, interesting. I don't think I ever noticed such a instance in the original games. But I will trust you. Okay. Also, there's a bit of, I guess, a bit of a problem with Let's Plays is if I was just playing by myself, I would probably be a little more immersed in the atmosphere, which is what I usually look for, stupid as it is in Doom maps. But right now, because I'm talking and you're here and stuff, and I'm recording this, I hope I'm still, yes, I'm still recording. The most I can do is kind of like imagine how this would felt to me if I was playing by myself on my own, and trust that it would feel how I wanted it to feel. And I don't know if well, obviously I probably do not get the same level of enjoyment because of Let's Playing, but at least I'm being fair. It's only my problem. I'm still being fair in saying that it definitely would have felt like I wanted it to feel if I was playing by myself. So, not to make anyone who really cares about what I think, I guess, feel upset by the unfairness of the fact that I'm not enjoying as much as I could. Oh well. It's definitely confusing a little map here. Well, little in the, like you said, not little.
Yeah, it is a little bit busy, I think, which is Pavera's style creeping in a little bit there.
I am even less familiar with your guys' styles than I am with the original Doom mappers, so when you say, like you said, like, which one you mentioned? Probably yourself, like, parts of Alfonzo kind of creep when you cannot prevent your own style from creeping. I will never
actually
recognize.
In my case, I started off pretty much doing the weirded maps, so I didn't have the problem that some other mappers had, level designers had, in that I had to overcome a style of my own in order to better adapt. Incidentally, I still think some of the other people on the team did a better job of replicating style than I did. I felt I was better off with imitating Sandy's style. But yeah, so it was very, very simple, really, for me, or a lot easier in any case. Tansman, incidentally, only started mapping in 2011.
What a noob.
But after he considered it to be a failed attempt in Doom 2 Redux, which he released recently as a map pack called Suitcase of Gore. He went straight away and did maps for first couple of maps of Batman X, and then straight into this. So he didn't have much to overcome either.
Well, that's interesting.
In fact, I'm pretty sure both he and I would have developed much of our styles through mapping for this.
Well, I was just saying that I really would not recognize any of your styles, so not a problem if one of your styles creeps in these maps. I would definitely not see it. I'll just say, well, this looks different from Doom 2 in a way that they probably would have done anyway, so I don't really have a problem. And I guess the fact that I'm not recognizing any of your styles actually helps, because I'm not saying, like, this is a slip-up. No, this was like, why not? Why wouldn't they have made something that is close to what you guys make? Okay, where to... Huh, I'm still shot at.
Some people actually might find it very fun just to pick out the flaws in the maps, and honestly, where it is that they went wrong, which I can understand, and I kind of like it myself. Undoubtedly, there will be times, 2-3 years later, when I say, oh, well, we just completely failed to do that. That would have been very easy and made it this much more authentic. But then it's kind of interesting. We missed out. Sometimes the flaws make up the charms,
Well, definitely, yeah, definitely. I don't know why I find so much enjoyment in just being completely nitpicky about maps, but when someone's listening, I feel the need to just, usually, not now of course, because this is like intentional, but when I was recording the TST, it probably didn't look like I was overly critical, but sometimes, yeah, I would definitely just kind of look at something and stay for 15 minutes talking about why this misalignment is terrible. And
you are definitely the slowest player I've ever seen.
Thank you. I'll take that as a fucking hell. Part of it is because I have no fucking clue where to go here again, and I haven't been paying enough attention to actually see, like, if I see a ledge that I can jump on, I do not know if I was there before or not. Like there, for example, if I can jump across, should I jump across? Wasn't here before, I think. Alright.
Well, that's very interesting.
Stuff like that trips me over a bit, usually. Yellow door.
I think I said on map 2 when we spotted the lights, where there should be door track on the side of a door, that we, rather than putting sort of errors into the map, we would simply accidentally make errors and then we wouldn't fix them. That's also the same case with speedrunning things. So if there were ways in which you could just completely break the map by skipping half of it, then that's a good thing, because Doom 2 had those instances as well. It's one of the things that I dislike actually about many modern map sets, in that they're so meticulously fixed down to the last iota that they can only really be played in one way, which is a bit disappointing to me. I think it is sometimes good to have some loose ends.
Well, yeah, it's if nothing else, it's just they make up for like interesting trivia to know about something, that there's like this error that was been left, blah blah blah, interesting. But I think from what I said about there's being so much choice, a lot of people are rightly assuming that their stuff isn't really going to be replayed over and over and over.
Hi there. Wow.
And I guess that's why they think it's, well, and I kind of agree. I think it's, in modern times, if you're making something that is just like not too amazingly outstanding to become like an instant cult classic or something, you can afford to make a map linear or not very replayable, because a lot of people probably are not going to replay it anyways. So that's a bit of a pointless. You're only going to be upset when you've put some effort into making it replayable and making secrets that people would never find the first time through, and making, I don't know, speedrun areas when you can kind of trick jump somewhere and, I don't know, skip half of a map. You're just going to make yourself upset if you make that, and then no one will even notice it ever. So it's better to probably not bother in some cases with that kind of stuff. But of course, when you think about it, when you look at a map and say, "Wow, this is neat that it has this alternate route through the map. This is neat," and it's the kind of thing that when you play, you won't probably notice or know about it, and it wouldn't influence your opinion. But afterwards, when you know about it in the map, it retroactively kind of changes your opinion in a completely useless way, which is, I know, you enjoyed it to a certain extent, and the fact that you know something about it which is interesting to you, it isn't really going to change the past so much. And it's kind of, it's better to make things in such a way now, I think, that they're definitely going to be noticed, so you can't afford to be really subtle, I think. Say I still do stuff like that, of course. But in my case, I obviously going to do some kind of like developer playthrough, pointing everything out completely, so that I'll make sure that no one misses anything if they watch it. But if I wasn't planning to do that, there was definitely a lot of stuff that I make that really has no point at all. Oh well. It's really interesting to have developers comment on their own stuff, like having Death Measure for DTST, and I was hoping to actually, I think it's turning out that we're just going to go like 3 sessions and complete this whole thing with you, and I have no problem with that whatsoever. But it would have been interesting to have like a lot of authors of these maps be here also and comment on this stuff also. But I don't think, well, maybe it wasn't really, it wouldn't have really been worth the trouble, because they wouldn't probably have enough things to say about this whole thing while I was playing, so I don't know. I think the way we're doing it right now is pretty sufficient to what I was doing. I don't know what actually, when you said that you were interested in me playing this, oh, I didn't notice how I approached where I wanted to stop. Oh well, I'll just I'll just finish my thought here, because I remember you said that you were interested in me playing through this and my opinions, but I don't really feel like there's enough substance in this to have strong opinions on. I mean, if I was very knowledgeable about the author styles and stuff like that, like you guys are, I would probably say a lot more interesting stuff, but so far I'm just talking random stuff, completely unrelated in some cases, and I don't think anyone, like any author of any of these maps, is going, if, like, hypothetically, if they decided to watch this, they aren't going to afterwards leave with some new insight from me that they think, whoa, this is interesting what you said.
I don't think that's true. I think there's still a heck of a lot of things that we haven't discussed which are really integral to a project like this, and developing people's opinions about how projects should be managed and stuff.
Well, that kind of stuff is just general discussion, which I mean more like about every specific map. I haven't really had a lot to say about every specific like area in the map, like I had with DTST, because DTST had a lot of shall we say controversial stuff in it, and original stuff which isn't really people aren't as used to. So there's a lot of stuff that I could react to in interesting ways, or it could surprise me, or I could have interesting things to say about. And I feel like after watching that, and you kind of, I don't know, maybe had the wrong idea about my entertainment value as a Let's Player, and you kind of fooled yourself into thinking that a Let's Play of this by me would also be interesting. But I guess it's just an excuse to talk about random shit, the kind of shit that you talk on the radio show, which I kind of didn't really. When you invited me, I thought about it and thought, I'll just make a fool of myself if I ever try to go there. So
nonsense.
Yeah, well, maybe after this Let's Play I'll feel a bit more comfortable. I think like a lot of topics that I would have any opinions on have been already covered. I really don't. There's stuff that you pick for that program, which I think, really, there is more than 3 words to say about that? Like, what? I think I watched some stream where you were talking about what's a sandbox map, and what's a non-linear...
Sandbox, yeah.
What's
the definition of
what's a non-linear map?
Seems to me in the Doom community to be a very flimsy, or maybe there's a sort of unspoken, agreed upon meaning behind them, but it's never discussed, and so that's what I was trying to shed light on. Incidentally, that was an episode of Doom Radio. Check it out, people.
I think I was mentioned in it in some way.
I can do that, right? I can do that.
Of course, I'm not going to kick you out right now.
Yeah, actually, that was an episode that Pavera, who participated in, said, really, is there actually is there that much material to talk about in something like this? So I thought there was at the time. Incidentally, I think it's one of the least impressive episodes you put out, but still.
Interestingly enough, it's probably the one I watched. Yeah. This kind of, you guys were just going on and on about this, and I think it felt like you were trying to like make a dictionary entry for sandbox map for Doom, and trying to make the most solid and understandable for anyone who just has no idea and going into this thing having no idea about what Doom is, and he would read that and completely understand it. And it was like, why would you spend so much time talking about that? It's like non-linear map. One of you was like, non-linear, well, every map is linear fundamentally. Who cares? We know what we call non-linear maps in Doom.
It's because we're nerds. Android.
Yes.
What can we do? I mean, we can stop. We could do that, but then I wouldn't be a nerd anymore. Yeah. I gotta nerd it up. I gotta discuss things trivially to the end of days, otherwise my mind will rot.
Well, yeah, I don't know. If I imagine myself being there, I don't know if I would often have things to add, because I would just sit there, despite having a lot of inane things to say about Doom, as evidenced by my posts. In a lot of things that you guys are discussing on the radio, I would probably just sit there and still say the same things that I just said, like, why are we still talking about that? And so I don't know if I should, but well, maybe there is a possibility. But yeah, I don't know why I'm playing this.
Is it worth me mentioning what this map's all about, or are we going to leave it till next time?
I think next, despite me walking around here, and yeah, I killed them all. And despite...
and yourself.
Well. Despite having just kind of run around a bit, this map is best left for next time. So, well, I had no idea, funny thing, when I thought about how we are going to do this, and I honestly had absolutely no idea how this was going to turn out. Like, would it be interesting, would it be funny, would it be entertaining, would there be a lot of opinions on my end, which I didn't expect, because I recently finished a Let's Play of Quake, and 2 Quake expansions, and I was continuously surprising myself by the fact that I kept talking throughout the game, and there was nothing to talk about, really. So I just found some really unrelated topics, and I wondered if that was going to happen. And now, having recorded 11 maps, I still have no idea what we just did, how it turned out. So I'll just wait for other people to say what they think. But this has been part 1 of, I guess if things go out the same way, part 1 of 3 of Let's Play Doom 2 the way it did, which is a name I always have trouble saying for some reason. I always forget how it is said, and have to remember from scratch each time for some reason. I don't know why. And Doom 2 in name only also. I have a lot of trouble saying those big strings of words. But yeah, this has been fun, and of course I'm looking forward to next. I don't know, maybe we could do it tomorrow, the next episode, if you're up to it.
I'll be up. I'll be available.
All right. Well, I don't know if I'll be available, but
preferably a little earlier. Like, my eyes are starting to swim around in my skull at the moment. I should be in bed.
Yeah, maybe a bit earlier, maybe next weekend. But whatever the case, well, whoever watched this, first of all, why? Second of all, thank you for watching. And if any of the authors of these maps watches it and wants to contribute something, then feel free. And also be sure to leave comments, so that because I am going to definitely post this, resurrect my old thread where the DTST thing was, and I'm fully expecting to there just be in the end 3 posts by me with the videos and nothing else new. But
don't be so pessimistic.
well, life experience has taught me that in these cases it's just realistic and not pessimistic. But
that's alright. I'll pull a few strings. I'll get some no-namers to come down and drop essays.
I'm looking forward to stuff that people are forced to say about this Let's Play. So yeah, I guess thank you for watching if you watched, and thank you for not watching if you just, I don't know, skip to the end right now. Why would you do that? And see you next time, and let's play Doom 2 the way it did with Antroid and Alfonzo, who isn't so saint anymore as I remember, but still Alfonzo, I guess.
I'm still saintly, but I've just decided to become a little more modest in my spare time.
Alright, good for you. Okay. In the Android tradition, we're just in the end screen talking for 20 minutes about stuff. So yeah, goodbye!